In June of 1954, Bob Richardson, co-founder of the Narrow Gauge Museum in Alamosa, Colorado, was able to rescue several C&S cars from the scrappers. These cars had come to the Rio Grande Southern through a legal settlement in 1938. One of these cars was a former C&S refrigerator car number 1116. Another was 1910 built C&S 50,000-pound boxcar 8308, which had been reshaped into a Rio Grande Southern outfit car. In the late 1950s, Bob partnered with Cornelius Hawk to move the museum to Golden and rebrand it the Colorado Railroad Museum. Around the same time, another venture was taking shape in Golden. There, a new Disneyland copycat theme park, dubbed Magic Mountain, sought to mimic Disney's old-time narrow-gauge train ride, and its promoters predictably turned to their neighbors, Bob and Cornelius, for some rolling stock. In 1959, in a heartbreaking but financially prudent move to raise money for the fledgling Colorado Railroad Museum's new building, the museum sold two of its C&S cars, Refrigerator 1116 and Boxcar 8308, to Magic Mountain, along with an engine and other cars for use as a tourist hauling park train. Unfortunately, much of the two C&S cars' half-century-old character was destroyed, as everything but their frames and running gear were stripped off and discarded, only to be replaced by seats and rider car shells. To add insult to injury, less than a year after the grand opening of Magic Mountain, the park declared bankruptcy. The park's train was then reduced to an idle display at the Magic Mountain site. Later, the situation turned hopeful for C&S Reefer 1116 and Boxcar 8308 when the Woodmore Corporation purchased the former Magic Mountain, including the train, in hopes of reviving the site. Initially, in 1969, Woodmore moved the train to be displayed at the corporation's headquarters in Monument, near Colorado Springs. In 1971, Woodmore officially reopened the former Magic Mountain site as a themed shopping area named Heritage Square and moved the train back. The owners enclosed the rider car sides and converted 8308 and 1116 into stationary walk-up food stands. In the early 1990s, Heritage Square finally removed the cars from their stationary food service role and sold them to the Georgetown Loop, a rebuilt segment of the Colorado and Southern Narrow Gauge. Lindsay Ashby, the Loop's operator, planned to convert both cars back into active rider cars. 1116 indeed experienced this transformation and once again went back into revenue service. The 8308's restoration, however, was never fully completed. In 2004, the Great Western Railway planned to demolish some old narrow-gauge C&S boxcars the railway had used for sheds. Jason Midyat purchased the car body of C&S 8310 and donated it to the Colorado Railroad Museum. Around the same time, the operator of the Georgetown Loop parted ways with the owners of the line History Colorado. The now former operator sent much of the narrow-gauge equipment to the museum, including 8308 and 1116. While the 1116 later returned to service on the loop, the 8308 remained in Golden, sharing a home with 8310. Volunteers at the museum removed 8308's upper rider structure and placed 8310 on top instead. There's been much discussion about combining the two to form one full Colorado and Southern narrow-gauge boxcar. Subsequent research, though, points to 8308 more likely being 8261, a different car series than 8310. For this reason, modern museum practice argues against combining the two. The current plan for this pair of survivors is for them to remain as they are, together but separate.